Kendra's on her way, but
Oh, is it hot in Socorro?
Actually have one of the potty shops.
Really?
Are you in
No,
Socorro?
it's in Iron
Are you in Socorro?
Just south of Socorro, close to the Bosque del Apache.
Pretty hot, oh, pretty, is that what, has it been pretty hot?
It's so nice in the mornings.
Yeah.
But yes, of course it's hot and, need to sleep in the afternoon, get up early.
Take a little nap, that's what you're supposed to do, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, take a little siesta in the afternoon.
But it's probably a little cooler than Texas with less humidity.
A lot
Yeah,
less,
I tell you,
a lot less.
Yes, it was so humid, about 2 weeks ago or something, where I'd never seen the low above 70.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it was for about a week there.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah.
But you were in Austin, right? You were in Austin?
Yeah, it was very humid.
I was there
Oh, yeah.
a couple weeks ago, and I actually went and practiced, and when I was done, this lady was walking her dog. I was like, the weather's so nice. She's like, this is not normal.
Appreciate it.
I was like, it was nice when I was there.
Well, let's turn to the very back since we're starting a new chapter. They give the title of the chapter at the end, and also there's this kind of nice chant to get us settled. And so let's do it all together. It's printed out there in transliteration. Om, everyone, Om. Tat Sadati Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Karma Yoga Nama Tritiyo Dhyaya. Very good, very good. Notice this name, just like in English, right? Nama, name.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you don't want to say namaste. That means, what's your name?
That means what's your name?
Instead of namaste. So Nama is name, and the name of this chapter is Karma Yoga.
Karma yoga, woohoo!
Karma Yoga, and it's the third, Tritiya. And notice a couple of Sunday that we break sometimes, and sometimes we just say it. So, right, Gita Su Upanishatsu, right? So Gita Supanishatsu. And then another one, notice Sri Krishna Arjuna, Sri Krishnarjuna. So Sri Krishna Arjuna, Sri Krishnarjuna. Somebody, hey, Guru Devi. And okay, very good. So we're starting the third chapter, Karma Yoga. Some take this really to be the heart of the Gita, since it is right in the middle of a battle, and so there is certainly action about to happen, and karma means literally action. I think it has 3 or 4 senses. Karma means action, and then it means the psychological dispositions that are created by action, sometimes called karma, and those are housed in what are called samskara, dispositions that rest in the self, or somewhere. It was not just the body, Muslim memories, because they go with you into a new incarnation. So that's the second sense of karma. Karma also is a kind of shorthand for sacrifice. The traditional sacrifices by the Brahmins, where you get dakshina, fees, they do a soma sacrifice, the sacrifice of that. Those are also called karma. So at least those 3 senses. Karma, actually, another sense is in grammar, there's a different context. Karma is the accusative case. It's the second case. It's the object case. So that would be karma. So it's not very relevant, but since we're into karma yoga, we might. In a way, it does kind of connect. 'Cause karma is something you make, right? By your actions, you create it. A good translation for that second sense, I think, is habits. That habits, right? Yeah, I think there's some great line from Shakespeare where he says, what is it? By habit, you can even change the course of nature. Habits. So, and I guess that's what yoga is, building up good habits. Okay, so here we are with the first verse, and our star pupil usually is ready. He might pass it on. Does anybody else want to try the first verse where Arjuna is talking? I guess not.
Jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana
Very good.
tat kim karmani kore mam
Mom.
Is it not a dental nasal before dental
Mom.
With
It's Niyojasi comes next, right?
if Niyojasi comes next, is an anusvara not pronounced as a dental nasal before a dental? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Niyojayasi.
That's true, though. Commonly I make the mistake of just nasalizing.
Okay.
And I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I may not be the only one who makes that.
Okay. I get yelled at by the other boss if I do.
Oh, really? If you give the wrong nasal.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Something like since you are considering buddhi like intelligence or
Wait. What's the subject? What's in the nominative case?
Oh, in the nominative case is I mean, if we consider the whole thing, then isn't it it's the exciter of men, or it's Krishna, right?
No, it's
No.
buddhi.
Oh, buddhi. Okay, so intelligence or intellect or wisdom or something
Attitude, maybe?
being higher than.
So buddhi is thought, the past participle mata.
Oh, mata is thought of as considered.
By you, te.
Te.
Te mata. Buddhi by you, even though that's genitive, it can be rendered by as an instrumental. Okay, buddhi is taught by you
Right.
to be jayasi, that's the adjective.
Higher, better than.
Better, and then karmana is ablative,
Ablative.
singular.
Better than.
Better than, very good.
Yeah.
If buddhi is thought by you to be better than karma,
Yeah.
oh Krishna, that's the vocative,
Yes.
Janardana.
Then
Tut, then, yeah.
tat then kim.
Kim is an interrogative word. It doesn't have a translation, just like a question mark.
In this case, why in the hell?
Yeah, why in the hell?
Right.
Very good, exactly. Arjuna is very, you're right, very good.
Would you encourage me
Mom, me, the accusative, right?
towards this terrible, ghastly.
Yeah,
awful-
gore is
Gory.
gory in
This
English.
gory
Right?
deed.
This
Yeah.
gory deed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, this, oh Keshava,
Yeah,
oh Krishna.
old fellow with the pretty hair.
Yeah. Very good. And so, Who's going to do the next one? Kendra.
I'll read it, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see if I can break the Sunday.
Yeah, he's giving him a hard time, Marcia.
Let's see. Yam.
No, there's no Sunday there
Oh, yeah,
except
my
at
bad.
the end.
Right. Okay, starting with the ya.
Uh-huh.
Sheneva.
Shrena, Iva.
Shreneva. Whoops, my bad. Shreneva. Vakena. Buddhim. Mohaya. Siva.
Si, Iva. Iva. Again, Sunday, two E's coming together make a long E. Iva.
Eva as in,
May.
as if? Eva, like as if?
Oh.
Eva?
No, Iva. E and E. Two short E's make one long E. We have a long E here.
Okay.
But when you divide the Sunday, it's two short E's.
May.
May.
Tadekam. Vada.
Vada.
Nikshitya.
Nishchitya.
Yena. Shreyo. Aham.
Aham, I.
Aham. Apunyam.
Apnuyam.
Apunyam.
Good, very good. Can you
Let's
translate
see.
that?
Buddhim, let's see. Moha, liberation. Moha.
No, moha is confusion.
Oh, confusion.
So, and the subject is understood because it's a moha yasi, that's second person singular, and so it's an understood subject. You Krishna, are deluding my buddhi, my mind. How? Slight with the iva, it sort of modulates it slightly, but with a confusing, mishra is mixed, and vyamishra would be, I don't know, chaotic, inconsistent speech, right? So you're confusing me, Krishna, with your double talk. Tud.
Oh.
What is the vyam?
Vakyena. That's Mishra is mixed. And remember, there are these what are called in Sanskrit upasarga, verbal prefixes. They also can fit onto adjectives. So, and I think there are 20 of them. I think we put a list on them on there. You know, means not. I mean, they don't have real fixed meanings. They're not entire words. They just modulate the meaning to some degree. Like near or nish means without.
And vyam is one?
No, V is one and A is one, and so there are two here. V and A. Like so, like in pranayama, there's ayama. There's A before the ya. A is an extension. It's the towards or to, and V is the separate. So Vyamishra is like, this is really terribly mixed up. what you're telling me, Vyamishra, it's like emphasizing the Mishra, mixed speech, right? So with these two prefixes on there, make it worse than it was just Mishra.
But it says Eva twice.
But Eva twice, well, look, yeah, I think in many cases you have to think the reason a word is there is to fill out the meter. The meter's gotta be regular, right?
I just thought maybe he doesn't want to
But yeah, I think that's right. The meaning would be, it softens
Yeah.
the criticism.
I mean, he's talking to his teacher.
Yeah, he
So-
saw his teacher. It's
Like,
like
I know you would never want to confuse me.
I know,
but
as it were, as
Right.
it were. You were speaking with a very mixed speech, as it were.
Yeah, just right. Whatever. Right. It's almost like you're trying to confuse me, which I know you would never do with your apparently mixed up words.
But then it's very direct in the next one.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Tut Kim.
But,
Yeah,
Yeah.
tell me,
Yeah.
I mean, why do you enjoin? Why do you urge me or encourage me to such a... You tell me that,
Oh, no, was fine.
that buddhi, the mental attitude, is more important than work.
Yeah.
But now you tell me to go fight this terrible thing, so that just doesn't make sense. It's Vyamashrena. So, Nishchitya, with certainty tell me, Vada, Ekam, one single truth. That is Shreyo, so that I, Yena, whereby, by which I, that's Apnuyam, optative, where I, Apnuyam, may attain Shreya, the good, the best, the right, Shreyas. Shreyas. Shreyas becomes Shreyo before Aham.
Shreya means
Shreyas, this means the best. It's a very common word.
Shreya.
Shreyas. Where I can
Nishreyase.
obtain the good.
Nishreyase, Janglikayamane.
Nishreyase.
Uh-huh.
No better.
Yeah.
Nishreyase, I mean there's
Yeah.
nothing better, right?
Uh-huh.
Jangalikayamane.
Uh-huh.
Right, that's that Shiva.
The Ashtanga.
Yeah, that's the Patanjali jam.
Jam. Yeah, well, yeah, okay, I reckon.
They say you could dance.
Okay, so, I don't know.
So, okay, I'm sorry, could we just go back to the first line? He's saying that the intellect is not better than the karma.
No, he's saying it is better.
Okay,
He said,
so
you have told me.
You told me.
You told me that mata, that you think mata, that the buddhi,
Right,
the right attitude, the
Right.
right mental attitude,
yes.
intelligence is better than work. It's
Better than the
better,
action of karma.
jayasi,
Yeah.
Okay,
than
yes,
karmanas, that's the ablative.
okay,
Karman is the root, and karma is nominative. Karma is also, it's a neuter word, but karmanas is both the genitive and the ablative.
So you're saying that your intention is more important than the action?
Mm.
Yeah, he's saying that your attitude is more important than the action. I don't think he takes that back, to tell the truth.
Mm.
But he's going to give us
He's
the
gonna
true
expound
teaching
upon it.
about action.
You said as both the genitive and the ablative.
For karma, no.
You're allowed to be both?
No, I mean, if you go, Ramaha, Rama, you do your 24 forms.
Yes.
The
It
same
can be
form, karmana, occupies the ablative singular and the genitive singular.
Right.
But it's not both. It's only one. It's only ablative here.
Right.
Just
okay.
a point of interest to know that it could have been genitive.
Okay, right. Okay.
And then in the second verse,
Would an author ever, just on that point, I mean, would an author ever,
Do a double entendre all the time.
yeah,
Yeah. So where you read it one way, that's very common. That's
Because
a
it's
poetic
ambiguous.
device.
okay, yeah, right, okay. Especially in a case like that where the ending is
Yeah.
ambiguous. Okay, okay,
Or even they use double entendre where you break the sandhi differently.
okay, of course. Yeah, right, okay.
So they have a lot of facility for double entendre,
Right.
for double meaning.
Okay, so that's what he says in the first verse. And in the second verse, he's saying then, tell me then, with certainty, how to obtain this
The good.
intelligence.
No,
this-
the good, Shreyas. The object of Apnuyam is Shreyas.
The good.
The
Yeah.
good. When before that he's saying, with a confused mixed speech, you're confusing my buddhi,
Oh, you're confusing my, okay, now I get it.
You're confusing my
You're
intellect.
My
confusing
intellect.
booty. Yeah, my intellect, you're
Right.
confusing, I'm not getting, yeah,
right?
okay, thank you.
And then we have Sri Bhagavan Vacha. He answers. You want to?
Sure.
Who wants to do that? Dak.
I'll try.
Okay.
Shri Bhagavanu
Bhagavan.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha
Uvacha. That's perfect of Vad.
Lokshmin Dive
Loke.
Loke
Smin.
Smin Divida
Dvivida.
Dvivida Nishta Pura Prokta Mayang Naga
Naga. Good.
Jnana
Jnana yogena.
Jnana no
Jnana.
Jnana Yogena Sankyanam
Sankyanam.
Karma Yogena Yoginam
Yoginam. So those are genitive plurals. So this is a great verse.
Yeah, very famous, right?
Okay, you want to try to translate it?
I
Okay, well, loke,
it won't be a
this world, right? Asmin loke.
In the
O-
world, right?
Omond, right? In this world, dvivida, nishta. Sta is the most common word for stand. For stand, like sta. And nishta, I've noticed that they translate this quite differently. I had a teacher that thought it was like your faith stand, your
Yeah.
your orientation,
What you stand
what you stand for, right? Where you're making your stand.
for. Yes, make
Right.
you stand,
Pura prokta, it would have been declared of old. Pura of old. Prokta, past passive participle modifying the subject nishta, right? So twofold nishta have been declared of old.
Sinless.
Anaga means blameless one. Maya, and Maya by me. There's this idea, of course, we're getting used to the idea that Krishna takes form to lead us. And for a little preview of what we're coming to, the real climax is in, I think, 321, where, if you look quickly at 3, let's see, is it? Yeah, yad yada charati shreshtas tad tadeva itrojana sayat pramanam kurute lokas taluvartate. So there's this word pramana in the second line there, which is the word for knowledge source. And the idea is literally what the best, and there I think he's referring to himself, what the best do, other people follow. The standard, pramana, that the best set, the world follows. And so we have this idea that Krishna, in every art and craft, is excellence, sets the standard of excellence. And that, I think that's really important for karma yoga. May I read you something I got from my guru when I was 20 years old in India? She said, all work done for the divine, from poetry and art and music to carpentry or baking or sweeping a room, should be made perfect, even in the smallest detail, as well as in the spirit in which it is done. For only then is it an altogether fit offering. So it's this idea that in every, and there's, I think I was telling you maybe last time, there's this Nyayaka, this stick in the mud philosopher, who picks up on this, and he says, you know, hail the potters, hail to weavers, those who make excellence. They may be a slob in some other part of their life, but they are divine in that perfection of their craft.
Even the floor sweepers,
Even the sweeping a room, sweepers, everything.
everything.
As long as you do it in the right spirit and as perfectly as you can, that's karma yoga. So that's really the spirit of karma yoga. Okay.
Are they defining spirit?
Excuse me?
Are they just defining, like, what does she mean by in the spirit of?
She means actually your attitude.
Okay.
The booty.
Your attitude, right? The attitude. I think the other sort of key idea you get into there is the attitude is, we're going to get these verses that say everything is a matter of creation by flow, by giving and taking, which is the cosmological understanding of sacrifice. Everything's this sort of flow. But we're only concerned with taking. And what karma yoga is turning it around and we give willy-nilly. We can't help it. In breath, out breath. You know, we hear, we talk. But what we should, instead of taking all the time, try to give.
Fill some buckets up, that kind of thing.
Fill buckets.
Fill some buckets up, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what you're doing here today.
That's good.
Well, no, I
Yes.
get free yoga classes.
That only adds to it. That's a good thing.
Right, so you're very prepared.
So, we're going to keep going. Is it Vanessa?
Yeah.
Oh wait, we didn't talk about
The second part.
jnana yoga for the.
Oh yeah, we haven't got
karma
the whole
yoga for
second
the
line here.
yogis.
Oh, this is so good.
So
Yeah,
good.
Sankhyanam, they're sort of the intellectuals. So there are two stands. One of them is jnana yoga,
Yes.
meditation. The other one, and that's for intellectuals, Sankhya, the people who analyze things. Sankhya originally means, before it becomes a system of philosophy, analysis. In fact, you can see it in the analysis of the 24 principles and so on.
So would scholars be for that?
Scholars, yeah,
that okay?
yeah, intellectuals.
Okay.
Now you're
People who are mental people.
Mental people.
Mental people.
not
Right.
not in the British sense of the word.
Maybe both. and then karma yoga for yogis.
Yeah.
The yoga of action for
Now
yogis.
you said you glossed jnana yoga as meditation yoga, but then typically you would hear
Jnana yoga.
like
Oh,
Raja
yeah.
yoga would
Yeah,
be
well,
meditation.
jnana is very general.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Can be intellectual.
Yeah, it could
person.
be, dharana, dhyana, samadhi.
Great. Yeah.
So then how would you differentiate jnana from sankta?
Here he's just doing. Famously, the Gita has 3 paths.
Okay.
Jnana yoga, which covers all dhyana, dharana, so on, the yoga of meditation. Karma yoga, the yoga of action, and
Right.
bhakti yoga, the yoga of love and devotion.
Okay.
But there's really 4. There's also buddhi yoga, the
Okay.
yoga that we got in chapter 2, which was sort of the broad overview, including reincarnation and sort of the right philosophic take on things.
Usually when I hear people say 4, they include
Raja yoga.
Raja.
You'll have to show me where the word Raja occurs in the Gita.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll watch out for it.
I would think Raja would fall under jnana yoga.
Interesting. I would think Buddhi would fall under jnana yoga.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so now we move on.
So the Sankhyas think about it or meditate, and the yogis do stuff. Is that how you
Well,
think?
yeah, but later on I think they say there's really no difference.
Right, yeah.
The children think of them as different.
Sure.
That's verses coming up.
Yeah.
But they're really down at their core.
Mm-hmm.
They're the same.
Or you're kind of supposed to do them all, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to do them all, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think of jnana yoga as being like kind of monkish. You kind of separate
Yeah,
yourself
right. It's more
from the world.
There's plenty of asceticism. We're gonna
Yes.
It seems like you could pick any of them as a path, but if you perfect any one of them, then they're all in perfection.
That's right. That's what. Now, Shankara, the great commentator, he prefers jnana yoga. He thinks karma yoga is preparatory for jnana yoga. It's the same with bhakti.
Yeah. Cool.
Because
That makes
he thinks the enlightenment experience is an experience, not an action. But people disagree, and of course. The Vaishnavas would think that it's all in bhakti, right? Who cares about anything, right? Except bhakti yoga, which we're going to get later. But we can go slow. May I give my little bhakti speech?
Yeah.
There's in the Shiva Purana, Shiva disguises himself to look at how the various yogis and yoginis are doing. And he comes across a jnana yogin sitting on a bed of nails in full lotus position. And he says, hey guy, you're doing a great job. I'm going to give you a boon. You ask me any question and I'll give you the answer. And so the jnana yoga says, how many more lifetimes before I get moksha, before I get that? Yeah. He said, you keep it up like this, just 3 more lifetimes.
Right.
And the guy, 3 more lifetimes. And so then he comes across a bhakti yogi. Hare Krishna, Devanya, dancing, singing, happy. And he says to her, oh, that's just fantastic, your practice. And ask me any question, I'll give you the answer. And she says, how many more lifetimes of this practice before I get the ultimate spiritual experience? He said, you keep it up like this, just 100 lifetimes and you'll make it. Oh, just 100 lifetimes. Oh.
Yeah. I'd be like, 3? Really? Only 3? I'd be so excited.
Anyway.
That's great.
Okay.
I don't know
Brilliant.
which of the two that speaks better for.
That's because you're a jnani. It's supposed to speak for the bhakti.
Deluded wingnuts. They don't mind writhing and suffering.
Okay. So, are you gonna read Vanessa?
Oh, sure.
Wait, we're on. Which one are we on now?
That's what I've got. 4.
Yeah.
3, 4.
Yeah.
She's on the
No.
Okay.
Great big long one.
Carmen, no, okay. Bandhanaha. Kaunteya. Mukta Sangha Samachara Yajñartat karmanavanyatra loko yam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya bhukta sangha samachara.
I don't think we're on the same,
Yeah,
we're
which
on the
verse
same
are you
page
on?
as you.
Yeah.
Are you at 3-4?
I'm at
3-4.
3-4.
Is that the wrong one? Oh, I see. I skipped. No wonder I thought you weren't doing it very well.
Let's see
Well,
this.
that was this. Okay, we're 3-4. No, okay. No. Here we go.
You were doing just fine with that.
Na karmana anarambat.
We all thought you had gotten
Okay,
rusty.
there we go. Sanya sadeva siddham samadhi gachati. Okay. Na karmanam anarambat. Naishkanyam purusha ashnute. Nacha sanyasyata eva siddham. So, without, so anaram bat, it changes the ta, changes the na before the na. So without commencing works, karma, a person, purusha, does not obtain the meditative state known as actionless. So even though Naishkarmya is supposed to be a siddhi of even acting, you're not really acting. You're watching, I think. This is really a jnana yoga thing. But without acting, you can't get there. You can't, you gotta practice karma yoga in order to get to the state of nice karma. That you know, there's a lot of different commentary on Naishkarmya. Literally, it's inactionness, right, or actionlessness.
Right.
So, but I take that to be a meditative state
Okay.
where you are just watching without actually willing to do something or other. Or
So you have to do something to get there.
you got to do something to get there.
Okay, that makes sense.
Isn't Purusha the divinity spark? I mean, isn't that?
Well, in the system of Sankhya, they call the witness consciousness, maybe better term sakshi, as Purusha. So they make a distinction between Purusha, consciousness, and Prakriti
So
nature.
that's the
But,
clear mirror.
but Purusha is also just the most ordinary word for a person, male or female. It's just it's a
I've
common.
been giving it this like.
I mean, it
divine-
can't, in a certain context, the Sankhya context, it does mean the,
We're both right.
And
yeah,
yoga.
it means the,
It's like big P and little p.
All right.
yeah, yeah.
It's
And
like
the
if-
Parama Purusha is,
It's
that's
a
right, that's the
self-
real big
If
P.
you want to know what's a person, it's like, you know, those
That's
philosophies are like, oh, you want to know what a person is?
Yeah,
I'll tell you what the person is.
and they'll have different views.
Right. And then, you know, to them it boils down to, like you're saying, you could say a spark of divinity or the witness consciousness or something like that's the
That's right.
person. And the rest is baloney.
Or someone else would say the person is a composite
Yeah.
The raw
of a whole bunch of stuff.
polished mirror reflection thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I said
Maybe
that eloquently.
I'd argue with him about it, but yes,
Okay,
but
fair
not
enough.
with you.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway, here it just, it's like, you know, any old
Just
person.
Just a person.
Yeah. And so not just,
A person who has to take action in order to be in an actionless state. To
exactly,
attain it,
perfect,
to get there.
right.
Back to inconsistency.
You have to take action.
To become actionless.
Yeah, well, you remember, there
You
is,
gotta get there.
look,
You don't just get
there,
there.
there's poetic virtue in near contradiction.
Yes, true.
All right, so often the Gita and other great works of poetry border on contradiction, and that is supposed to enhance its beauty, I think.
Gives it a dramatic.
It makes it,
Well, you started this class by offering us 4 different meanings of the word karma.
Right,
And it's not out of the question that he's playing with
Right.
another meaning here,
that's true.
right? You
That's
can't get
true.
to you can't get away from what sticks to you by not acting, in a sense. You can't get away from the fruit of your
Oh,
action
you
by-
couldn't get away from your own karma. Ah,
Maybe.
very good.
I don't know.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, very good. Hey, star pupil strikes again.
Ah,
Good. Oh, I don't mean to give you trouble. You can call me.
yeah, you're welcome. Anytime, any trouble. It's the star nonsense I reject.
Okay, and again, not just sannyasyats. Now, sannyasa, right? Sannyasa is maybe, I don't know at this time, maybe 200-300 BCE, there was the formal sannyasa, but now there is, right? People
What is a
take
formal?
sannyasa and they wander around.
It's
What
a
is it?
person. It's a holy person.
Yeah, holy.
Right.
Well, yeah, but they wander around. They don't have possessions.
They're
nice.
Oh.
They sleep on
They're
the
ascetics.
ground,
Yeah.
except what people give them.
But they generally have people, right? They tend to gather a flock. Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, when this was written, did they?
I don't know. I kind of doubt it.
They were just kind of like beggars?
Sure.
I don't know. Who knows?
There were. When was this written? When are you?
Scholars think probably around 300 or 200 BC.
So there are bhikshus.
Okay, bhikshus.
I mean, we
Yeah,
know
sure.
the Buddha had followers who were begging for their meals and
Right.
were renunciates. So why
So,
shouldn't they?
okay.
do
It should, so that
Okay,
could
okay.
be.
Renunciates.
The vegan bull. Yeah.
Yeah, big or no. Right.
The sannyasis too,
Okay.
it's like the later in life in
Oh yeah, right.
when you
Yeah,
go
oh
in.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I got coming up here real soon.
Yeah.
You just wander out. See what happens. No, don't do that. It made me sad.
And so you can't attain siddhi. Samadhi gacchati. Siddhi,
Superpowers. Yeah.
not from sannyasa alone can
No.
you obtain siddhi, perfection.
Yeah. Right.
So again, a double meaning. So city here is not superpowers. City here is perfection.
Is it perfection superpowers?
I think he's getting, we're going to get a teaching about action. And, it's, what you want to say here? It's, the action is for the good of everybody.
What's the relation here between samadhi and samadhi?
Samadhi and
Right? I mean, it's siddhim, right? Samadhi gacchati.
Oh, samadhi gacchati. Well, look,
Oh.
again, a lecture on the verbal prefixes.
Yeah.
Ah is one, adi is another. So, and di is in samadhi, di is from da, from verbal root.
It's a set
So it's
down.
some, and da. Here, it's some, adi, and gum. So it's totally different,
Unrelated, okay.
unrelated.
Okay. Cool.
Though there could be a double entendre kind of suggested. Okay, you don't want to know. Yeah, well,
Okay, I'll try.
struggle through it. I mean, at least I'm on the right one. I don't want to.
Hopefully I'll be.
There you go.
Not he
Shanam. Api.
Yeah, very good. Breaking Sunday.
Jatu.
Jatu.
Jatu. Tishta. Yakarma.
It's chish. See, it's Sunday here. Tishta T. E becomes ya before so it's tishta T karma krit. And there's a hidden because the tish to T, the E becomes ya, and then takes the ya part is the E, and the after the ya is the is the next word, karma krit. Tishtati karma krit.
Karyate.
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 And then again the same thing. He avasha. He avasha. The E becomes ya, and then avasha.
Karma.
Karma. Sarva.
Sarva. Prati.
The ra is hidden, if you're reading the Devanagari, it's hidden up above the gu. Prakriti jai gunai. Gunai. And then the visarga goes with the I, so gunai. Little breath there, gunai. Okay. Very good, that was good. It's hard to break those Sundays, particularly when the is hidden like that. So kaschit is the subject. Na, he is conjunctive. In English, sometimes the word for, F-O-R, is really because, but you can start a sentence with for, giving the reason for the sentence that preceded it. Same thing with he. He means because or for. For na kaschit, no one. Kshanamapi. Kshanam is, and I think in Ashtanga, don't you say kshanamekam, kshanam, you count kshanam. When you do kshanam is an instant. You don't do the kshanamekam, dvikshane, and so on. Sometimes Ashtanga yogis use that counting, right?
Yeah, I just don't know that I've heard that.
Ekam, kshanam.
First I've heard ekam and dwi and training the
Yeah.
words, but I heard that.
But what it's modifying is kshanam.
Shanam.
The numbers are modifying an understood kshanam or kshane for two, kshanani, and so on.
Oh, okay.
That's what 1, 2, 3, 4 are talking about in Ashtanga Yoga, are these moments. So no one, even for a moment, even for a moment, no one at all, jatu is expletive, stands tishtati, and then that hidden karma krit. Krit, doing, karma, and then means not doing karma. So no one can stand even for a moment without acting. Karyate hi avasha karma. Karma is done. The root word is kri. So, and there's a lot of kind of punning him because karma is that accusative, right? And karyate is passive of kri. So for avasha, willy-nilly, without control, without wanting, without control, karma is done. Everyone does action, whether they want to or not. Avasha, sarva, that's everyone. Prakriti jai gunai, because of the gunas. how should we translate gunas? The gunas born of nature, the properties of nature. Well, there's tamas, sattva,
The
and
states.
rajas, the three gunas, but it can be, you know, all the various properties.
But
All the elements.
he just got asked this, he just offered this, right, statement
Right.
about, right, action for yogis and Sankhya, right? And we kind of like passed off like, no, Scott, this was just Purusha meaning person. But in back-to-back verses, he just said, right, the person can't get free of action by not acting because they are helplessly motivated by
The guna.
nature. The Purusha can't help but not act because of Prakriti's
Right.
impulse.
Right.
So he's wielding Purusha and Prakriti in these two in the context of explaining Sankhya.
Okay. There's, you could say there's implicit Sankhya here. On the other hand, unlike the Sankhya Karnika, which is much later than the Gita and a kind of systematic, overly rational, not poetic version. Where there's utter split, it's a dualism.
Yes.
I don't think Krishna is going to be dualistic. He wants to say these two are connected.
Yeah, right.
You know, Shiva Shakti.
Yeah.
You can't. For practice, you can separate, sure.
Yeah.
But down deep, no.
Right. Well, this may be a window to what Sankhya was then.
Okay, good.
But I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
Yeah. Sankhya might not have been a metaphysical system back then. It might have just been a practice,
Yes. Right.
a kind of practice
Yeah.
where you.
Or at least didn't have this rigid dualism.
Yeah,
built into it.
good.
Not to
Good
mention the
point.
like non-theistic
That's
overtones
right.
that we now.
Yes,
Associate.
associate with classical Sankhya from the Sankhya Karika.
When you, like the whole Shiva Shakti thing, right? It's just like cosmic consciousness versus like the manifestation, or can you say like Shiva is more Purusha and Shakti is like Prakriti in a way? Like it's,
In a way.
like, can you define those
In
two?
a way,
Shiva, Shakti,
but
a little bit?
Shiva, I don't know, that Soundarya Lahari, the flood of beauty, Shiva is totally helpless, can do nothing without Shakti. And the worlds are created by Shiva's spanda, vibration. Everything that happens is, every moment is Shiva vibrating out and in. The worship in Tantra, Shiva Shakti, is more on the Shakti. So don't worry about Shiva. You'll get that monistic consciousness if you can attune yourself to the Devi goddess vibe that's constantly expanding in the beauty of the universe.
So like the creation side is the Shakti side.
Every moment is Shakti. But it's containing Shiva. Shiva's there, is expanding it's not Shiva's just standing back. This is a monism. Shiva is right there.
Monism. I just don't know the word.
Monism, Advaita,
Non-duality.
non-dual,
Oneness, a unity.
oneness, yeah.
So Shiva being like the god and Shakti being like
Yeah, but let's not separate.
no, okay. But it is. It's hard not to understand it without separating.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
How would you draw that picture of Shiva and Shakti that you just described?
I don't know, there
So
are
is
lots of drawings.
emanating from?
Like the
Is it like emanating?
Bhairava Bhairavi. In Yum Yum.
Entwined.
Yum
Yum
Yum.
Yum. Is that what it's called in Tibet?
Yum.
Yum Yum.
Yum. Yum is the mother. Yum is the father. Yeah.
And
Perpetually.
they get them. They have them in a
Sounds
embrace.
like yum but that's something different. That's English.
I hear it, you know, from a Buddhist perspective, and I don't know, I'm trying to understand it. It just sounds like Shiva is more like the lack of nature, and like Shakti is like, because of that, we can create, like, do things, create things, have actions in order to, like the emptiness side and dependent origination side.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Nevertheless, in the practice, they really emphasize that it's in that expansion of Shakti that you're going to find Shiva. Not, so this is where they're breaking maybe with, for example, Sankhya, not in sitting back and just watching. It's in participating in that ecstatic movement outwards that one finds what is most inward.
Yeah. But even in the yoga flavor of Sankhya, right? Prakriti is there to reveal Purusha to
Okay,
Purusha.
good. Yeah, that's right. Even it's there too. Yeah. Anyway, I've just been reading about this.
Cool.
The Kashmiri Shaivism. And it has some really neat stuff in there. And I think I mentioned it several times. This guy, the doctrine of vibration, Spunda.
Who's the author?
I can't pronounce it. It's a Polish guy, D-Y-C-Z. D-Y-C-Z-K. Kowski. D-Y-C-Z-K-O-W-S-K-I. But he's really good. Maybe Polish, but I'm sorry.
Let me take a look, I'll just take a picture of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Cool.
Kaschit kshanamapi jhatu tishtati karmakrit. Okay, so here we are. We're down to number 6. Right, and so we keep going this way. Robin, you're going to do 6? Okay, thank you.
Karmendriyani. Right?
Good.
Sorry,
Karmendriya,
I'm
there's
obviously
the and E make A. So karma indriyani, karmendriyani.
Karmendriyani.
Samyamya,
Samyamya. Ya. Aste. Manasha.
manasa, good.
Manasa. Smaran.
Smaran,
Indriyar.
than, indriyarthan,
Arthan. Vimuja. I don't know what to do with that D with the.
well, vimudatma, it's atma, vimuda, and atma becomes
Oh, okay,
vimudatma,
That makes sense.
and
Atma. Okay. Nitya.
it's this one is just mitya and
Nitya.
achara. Mitya, achara
Achara.
becomes mityachara.
Nityachara.
Uchate.
Ucha.
That's passive of uchate.
Uchate.
Such a person is called mityachara. That's a Bahuvri compound. A person whose action or behavior, achara, is non-genuine. Is sort of like a hypocrite.
Like a phony.
A phony, a con man.
Ooh, con man.
A mityachara. So that's the end of the verse. So the first of the verse is Karmendriyani samyamya ya aste manas. This seems like a kind of an attack on asceticism, right? So a person who sits, aste, that's from like asana, that's a verb. Asana is a noun, but this is the same, this is the root from which asana, the verbal root from which asana is made. Aste, a person who sits, smaran, smriti, remembering with the mind, karmendriyani samyamya, controlling the senses of action. Now, this may be the later Sankhya karmendriya. There are 5 organs of action. Speaking, walking, I don't know. Yeah, excavating.
Excavating?
Excavating.
Something I create. Excavate?
Isn't it arms, legs, head, elimination.
Elimination.
Right.
There you go.
That's what I thought you were
Eliminate.
saying.
That's what I meant.
And
Eliminate.
procreation.
Procreation.
Things of
Procreation.
life, right? Yeah.
Procreation. Right.
Respiration.
Those are the 5. So a person who sits controlling the organs of action, but thinking about them, right? So remembering them. Well, that person's confused, right? That's a hypocrite.
Hypocrite.
That's a hypocrite because in Indriyarthan Vimudatan. So the smaran means, I think the object of smaran is actually in the next line.
Yeah.
Indriyarthan.
Yeah.
So remembering, so thinking about the objects of the senses, but supposedly controlling all the organs of action, that person has sort of false, non-genuine behavior, hypocrisy.
Yeah. So he's sitting in meditation, he's not moving, and he's not like outwardly engaging with sense objects, but he's just sitting there thinking about them.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's still thinking about The Simpsons for
yeah.
years on
Still
end.
thinking about ice cream.
Movies. Watching movies for memory.
So how is he a hypocrite?
Because he's not really. He's putting it on that is not
He's
attached.
above it all.
Yeah, above it all, but really in his
He's
mind
just sitting there thinking about it.
thinking about it.
That's cool you didn't go to the movies, but if you're sitting there spending the whole time remembering the movies, it's not much different. Just
No, it's worse.
Yeah, right.
Or
It looks like you're good.
Or you're acting like you're better.
You're
than
acting like you're some
who
great.
went to the movies.
You're a great yogi.
Yeah.
Right?
But you already went to the movies last week
Yeah,
and
but-
you know all of
And
them.
you're just sitting there watching the rerun.
Right.
But how are you gonna get there unless you try, you know?
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Eventually it'll work.
Yeah, you gotta sit down and try it, do it. You gotta
Make experiment.
You're gonna do the next one, Scott.
I'll try.
Okay.
Yasvindriyani.
Wait. Yes. Two.
That's a
This
hard
is a hard Sunday. Yes is ya. Two becomes twa. And then indriyani. So yes, twindriyani.
Yes, Twindriyani.
Yeah, good.
Manasa.
Manasa.
Niyam Yara.
There's a Sunday there. Niyam ya. Ramate, Arjuna.
Niyam Yara Bate Arjuna.
Right?
Karman Jiyai.
Good.
Karma Yoga.
Karma yogam.
Karma Yogam.
Asaktaha. There's a hidden there. Karma yogam. Asaktaha.
Karma Yogam Asakta. Sa
Vishishyate.
Vishishyate.
That person excels. Asakta. It's crucial to get the asakta, the karma yogam. So, yastu indriyana manasani yamya arabate. So, but a person who controlling the senses with the mind commences. What does he commence or she commence? Karma yoga. That's the accusative. That goes with arabate. The verb is in the first line and the object is in the second line. Who commences karma yoga by way of the yoga, by way of the indriyas of action, the 5 karmendriyas, asaktaha, unattached, that person excels. Savishishate.
Commences.
So a person who does karma yoga by way of the karmendriyas, right? Speaking
And all their stuff that they do.
that he mentioned.
Yeah.
And commences karma yoga. We're going to get the full story of karma yoga coming up. That person excels.
That person excels.
Excels.
In Ayurveda.
We had the contrast, right? The other person was sitting there, looked like was a great, renunciate, but wasn't doing it. Was thinking about ice cream, and but the person who's actually acting, but doing action as karma yoga,
Right.
which I take it's going to be doing things for the benefit of everyone.
What's the behavioral rasayanas?
Yoga.
Yeah, in Ayurveda, it's watching your speech, it's watching your thoughts, it's your actions,
Being mindful of what you're
exactly, being mindful with those senses.
I say mindful. Mindful is such a good word.
and doing it all excellent and pure perfectly.
Yeah, trying to do
Well, with
things.
good-
Right. With those intentions of doing it pure and perfect,
Yeah.
whether you're sweeping the floor or.
Right.
Exactly.
And if you don't, and also don't worry about if it's not perfect. I mean, you keep trying to make it
You
perfect.
try, yeah.
You try.
Perfection and the
Anyway.
imperfection.
But you don't, yeah.
But he says here, right, not holding on, which seems like, it seems like non-attachment, but it seems like he's setting it in opposition to smriti, to samara.
Yeah, the opposition is going to be that. Remember, we had that in chapter 2. Whether you're doing it for the fruit, for your own personal welfare, or as he's going to explain later on.
But in the last verse, he just said manas smaran, right? So
Smaran.
like as opposed to smaran, right?
As opposed to actually acting, including fighting this
Yes,
war.
Right.
Phew.
Yeah.
I mean, what a sharp contrast.
Yes.
That
So where's the non-attachment part?
Oh.
What's
I think the non-attachment part is we had in chapter 2 over and over again. You have a right to action, but not to the fruit. So the personal benefit is not supposed to be your motive.
Right.
Your motive is supposed to be giving, making an offering.
Are they saying that, are they saying non-attachment in this verse?
Yeah, non-attached.
That's what I'm asking for. Where does it say that?
Asanga. Asanga.
Asanga.
Asakta.
Oh, I'm sorry, asakta.
Asakta.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what I thought.
It's the
Okay.
same
Okay.
word.
Thank you.
Asakta is past passive
Thank
participle.
you, I got it.
Uh-huh.
I think the in Buddhist the sangha is the group to which you are attached, right? Sort of spiritually or something.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
The sangha.
Right, related to satsanga.
Yes.
Yes.
The satsang, right?
Right.
Satsang, or the synagogue.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Niyatam, Kuru, Karma, Tvam, Karma, Jayo, Hya, Karma,
He akarmana.
He, Karmana, Ha. Sharira, Ya, Trapi,
Yatra api.
Ya, Trapi, Cha, Tena, Prasida,
Samsidyate akarmana. Again, the hidden Prasidyate, that's the verb. Akarmana.
Karmanaha. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very famous verse.
Is Ni Upasaga?
Kuru, this is on the field of the Kuru. Kurus are the bad guys, but Kuru here is an imperative. Do. Kuru. Do. It's an imperative. Do karma. What kind of karma? Niyatam karma. Do regulated, fixed karma. You, twum. That's just the ordinary you for twum. That's what te is the dative, like namaste. Twum is the nominative. Te is the for you, right? Namas for you, to you. And then that's one sentence, and then the next sentence, karma is then, karma is neuter, so both the nominative and the accusative have the same form.
Mm.
So the first time it's accusative, but the second time it's nominative.
Yeah.
So karma, for karma is better, jaya is superior to akarma. For action is superior to non-action.
So, niyatam, how do you say it? Niyatam?
So,
Niyatam.
Niyatam?
niyata. That's like the yamas, right? That's yum. The past passive participle of yum to control is yata.
Okay.
So niyata is sort of firmly controlled. Do controlled karma. Do
Controlled by?
your offering, your karma yoga, your when you do karma yoga, you're sweeping the floors or whatever you're doing, there's intention. You got to concentrate. It's got to be a fixed.
So this is about the person has this fixed regulated.
Yeah, you're doing.
Okay.
You're trying to do a perfect offering. So do niyata karma, fixed action. Karma is better than akarma.
Right.
Action is better done this way, it
Done
implies.
this way.
Action is better than non-action.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. What if you do non-action this way?
You can't get there unless you do that. You can't
No,
get
well, how are you
That-
supposed to get to
That's
this?
in chapter 5.
May we live that long.
Sharira is the body, yatra, uppy, even uppy, yatra. Yatra is sort of like health or the course of life or something like that. It's like the path or the way of the body. So even for the health of the body, te na prasiddhyate akarmana. You shouldn't glorify or you shouldn't try to perfect non-action. For the health of the body, you shouldn't prasiddhyate, pursue inaction. If you want your healthy body, don't pursue inaction.
Well, that makes sense.
Checks out, yeah.
That's a good one for yoga class.
Right?
That's a good
Sit
one.
around.
All the hatha yogis in the room just said, yeah, that's right.
Get behind.
the big fat Buddhas of the past would beg to differ.
Ramakrishna.
Maybe, yeah.
But this is in the middle of a battle, right? I don't think that those big fat Buddhas
There's
wouldn't
no
fare very
time.
well.
You wouldn't last a second.
They wouldn't last very
Not
well.
with that physique.
There might be a place for it.
On the top of the elephant.
Okay, so we get a little further. Let me read a little bit. Yajñarthat karmano anyata loko yam karma bandhanaha tara tham karma kaunte mukta sangha samachara. So, the subject of this sentence is loko, lokaha, ayam. This world is bound to karma.
Cool.
It's bound to karma that is other, anyatra, than, here's that ablative, other than karma that's done for sacrifice. Yajna. Other that's done as a sacrifice, this world is bound to karma. And later on he's going to say, look, when you do karma yoga, you actually create no karma in the sense of, karmic payback. I think there's another sense, maybe a fifth sense to karma, because there's karma like habits, but there's also the kind of moral sense of karma, or the,
Like the baggage.
Payback. Like if you do
Yeah.
something bad, you're
Right.
going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And you do something good, you're going to get rewarded.
Vipassana.
And later on, he's going to say, if you do karma yoga, there's no karma in that sense. There's no karmic payback for karma yoga.
The ripening from the vipaka.
Right, there's none, right, except. So this world is bound to karma, to habits,
Yeah.
that action that is done other than for the purpose, or thought, for the purpose of sacrifice. Tadartham, but karma that's done for that purpose, tadartham, that purpose, mukta sangaha, I guess it's do samachara, do karma for that purpose.
Yeah.
The samachara is an imperative. So practice, samachara is really practice, samachara. And some means, all together. So practice your whole life karma for that purpose without personal attachment. Mukta sangha, liberated from personal attachment.
Yeah.
Sahayajna, and then we get these cosmological ones. Sahayajna prajashrishta provacha prajapati anena prasavishya dvam eshavo asti ashtakamadu. Ishtakamadu. Ishta. So, Sahayajna prajashrishta provacha. So, Prajapati, that's just the name for the creator. Prajapati, the grandfather. Prajapati, creating or loosing force, shrishta, right? Creation is thought of as emanation, right? From Brahman, from the one. So Prajapati brings forth creatures, praja, along with sacrifice.
Brings forth creatures.
Praja, creatures. That's the all living things. So
Like
praja.
manifestations.
Manifestation, okay. Yeah, Shrishta Praja. But I think because it's Praja, I think it's living things.
Living things.
Living things, Praja. Brings forth living things along with sacrifice. I heard once somebody explain this, that the absolute Brahman doesn't need the world. And in a way, in becoming the world, us, as us, has given up something. You know, like I personally, I don't feel bliss that is supposed to belong to the highest self. So that means the highest self, in becoming me, made a big sacrifice and gave up bliss and a lot of other stuff. And so in becoming us, the Lord is making a sacrifice. And so my teacher said that, but when you sacrifice back to the Lord, it sort of completes the circle. So there's this sort of downward movement of giving to us, making us, and then karma yoga is back the upward movement, completing the circle. But also, as we'll, there's going to be this there's this vertical sacrifice going, sort of completing a circle, but there are also all these horizontal sacrifices. The food cycle, the breath cycle, the mental cycle, anybody's words can be your words, you're giving and taking words all the time and so on, like breath and so on. So they're all, so there's, the whole cosmos is one great sacrifice in lots of different ways. This, I think, the overall image we're going to get. And in both a vertical way, the Lord's giving us being, and through limitations, and that's a sacrifice, and we give back in perfecting our work and offering it back to the Lord. Karma yoga. And
So it's kind of vertical with, you know, our devotion.
devotion, that's right.
And then it's horizontal
But
with
also
the other
there are
beings,
these, you know, so the sort
other
of
beings.
everywhere
Yes.
we get a sacrifice going on all the time.
Not just with
And
other people, but also.
I tell you, this tantric Abhinavagupta, the Bhairavi, you know, everybody beats up on, you know, ahamkara, ego, you're false. He says even ego is the Devi, is the mother giving to Bhairavi in the heart. Everything is a matter of this elaborate giving and receiving of this of the sacrificial movement into the center. Namaste. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's good. This is good.